Welcome to Type C Tech Reviews. Today we're going to be unboxing the Gigabyte M32U. If at any point during the video you want to check out this exact same monitor, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. But let's get this thing unboxed. This is a very special unboxing, and it's gonna be a very special review. And the reason for that is this monitor, well, I bought this to be on my secondary setup as a daily driver. So getting this thing open, piece of tape back here, and then you actually lay it flat, so a really easy unboxing process. Then you just pull this out, and it goes right up like that. That's so easy. I love unboxings like this. Okay, so right here, we have the stand. This looks pretty similar to Gigabyte's other stands. So opening this up, and here is the stand, all metal on the bottom, high quality thumb screw. So when you actually screw this in the stand, you can just use this. It's actually a very nice one. And then on top, this ring, I'm assuming it's gonna have swivel, which is nice. You actually should be able to test that now. Yeah, it's gonna have swivel. But overall, nice, not too premium looking, but I don't really care. I care about the panel. Then in the box, we have a DisplayPort cable, an HDMI cable, and then these are all the 3 different power cables, just depending on the regions that you live in. This is like the North America one. But yeah, so they all 3 come in the box. And then you have a USB Type B to USB Type A. But if you're on an Xbox or PlayStation, I'm already gonna tell you, it's got HDMI 2.1. But let's get this thing out. And here is the rest of the stand. Let's get this unboxed. And there we go. Here is the top of the stand. Cable channel in the back right here. The tilt and height adjustability right there. And this is a lock-in stand, so that's nice. Okay, so before we get the monitor out, we're gonna take this and put it together, line those up, go to the back, and then just screw it in. And again, this one, it's a high quality thumb screw, so all you need to do is just screw it in with your fingers. And just like that, it is tight and it's ready to go. They also have this little slit in the back of the PE foam here, so we're gonna pull this back. Then all you have to do is line up just these parts with the top. Once those are lined up, just simply press down. You might have to pull the box up a little bit. So line those up, press down, and it's in. And then pulling this thing out, it's a little heavy. Oh, it's definitely heavy. Then let's take the PE foam off. Guys, I am very excited about this one. And that is a beautiful flat 32-inch monitor. Let's come over to the back. All right, so on the back right away, we have some plastic here. And it's all glossy on the back here, which is beautiful. You're not gonna get any fingerprints there because you never touch it. That looks absolutely stunning. This looks a little bit cheap. This looks nice. Now over here, this is how you control things. Not my favorite placement, but it's fine. You also have a KVM switch there, which is very cool, especially because this is a 4K monitor. Even though it is a gaming monitor, if you're into productivity and gaming, this is something that you could use that with, which is why I like it so much. So the KVM switch is a nice addition. All right, but let's come down to the ports. We've actually got it looks like an on and off switch, a direct on and off switch for that AC in, which is very interesting. We got some more gloss right here. Very nice on the other side as well. For the ports right here, we've got 2 HDMIs. I think at least one of them is a 2.1. One display port right here, a USB Type C, which is awesome. So if you do want to plug in your MacBook Pro or something like that, this is great. Then we have the USB Type B and 3 USB Type A 3.0s and then a 3.5mm audio out right there. Now that's actually a really good competitive amount of ports. And you guys know I'm an LG fanboy, but this thing is cheaper than LG's and it's way more accessible than LG's. You can get it on Amazon. Check it out in the link below, but this thing's a good price, very competitive. I'm excited. I also do want to say I'm going to be extremely critical of this monitor. So if I end up that I don't like it, it's probably still a good monitor, but maybe I didn't keep it. We're gonna see. In all my reviews, I try to separate myself and just look at it from a very critical and consumer point of view. But with this monitor, it's gonna be that, but it's also gonna be tied into my personal purchasing decisions and whether I decide to keep this one or not. We've also got some more plastic down here on the bottom, a little bit of gloss right there, which I like that touch, and a little more plastic on the top. Now I'm gonna tell you right away, I don't like how this is so low. Most people are gonna have it about here, which means you're gonna be able to see the cables at some angles. Not too big of a deal though, I don't care. But now that it's on the desk, let's get this thing set up, do an initial impressions menu system, going through stuff like that, then a initial gaming impressions and a ghosting test. Let's do it, guys. Let's see how good this thing's gonna be. I'm very excited. All right, guys, now it's on the desk. It's all hooked up. You know, you can see what I was saying with this. It's a little bit low. A lot of monitors do this. You just have to cable manage it a little bit. Not too big of a deal. But let's get this thing turned on. I can't tell you how excited I am. Pressing that in, little light on the front to tell you that it's on. FreeSync Premium Pro, and I think this is G-Sync compatible. That'll be in the full review. Subscribe below. All right, guys, right away, I can tell you it is not doing full 144 hertz. So let's go into advanced display settings on 60 and let's go 144 hertz. Much better. Let's go into NVIDIA control panel and let's see if at full 144 hertz, this can output 10 bits of color, and it can. I kind of expected that, but it's a great thing. Okay, but now overall, it's not the most stunning monitor ever. We do want to check. It is in full 4K and everything is very, very clear. All the text, even small text, is incredibly clear. I think this has a PPI of about 138. I might be wrong. Again, full review, but everything's crisp. 32 inches, 4K, perfect resolution to screen size. 27 inches is okay. 32 is perfect. Now, I will say one thing. These bezels are bigger than I'm used to, but they're not massive. Nitpicking again. Let's go right into the settings, which again, terrible angle because you can't have dual monitors and use this because you can't go from under, you have to go in from the side. So then let's go up into the settings. In here we have a bunch of different settings: black equalizer, the super resolution, which is just over sharpening, display mode, the overdrive settings, which we're gonna go through, AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. Then we have the different picture settings, which we can go into and change the brightness, which we're gonna do right now. So let's turn this all the way up to 100%, and it looks pretty dang good. It doesn't look overly bright. I wanna test that. But we do have a bunch of different modes right here. FPS, standard, a bunch of different ones. Picture in picture, picture by picture, a lot of stuff, okay? First thing I wanna do is I wanna test the SDR brightness. Now again, for exact readings and for my exact overall tests, check the full review, subscribe below. But let's go through and test this. Yeah, so only hitting around 370 nits. 360, 375, or 360, 370 nits. That's not a ton. That's not as much as I was expecting. I don't remember the rating of it. However, we'll have to see. Let's get in game and see how this thing games. However, I will say the vibrancy of everything is absolutely stunning and the resolution is fantastic. Oh, and another interesting thing is this does have internal speakers, which honestly, just from doing that, they sound really good. Not that I would ever use them, but they sound really good. I'm gonna test out the speakers really quick. They sound muffled like a lot, but they have a lot more clarity even being muffled. Like basically all monitor speakers are muffled. So I would say these are pretty good. You could definitely use them more than just in a pinch. All right guys, so jumping right in game, I just wanna say this thing is so dang smooth while being 4K. That is so nice. Definitely an experience that's right away beautiful. Things are unbelievably clear, as they should be with a 4K 32-inch, and it's very, very smooth. And we are running at about 140 FPS, so we are getting full frames here, which is actually surprising. 3070 Ti, bringing it hard. I will also say the input lag, just from a feeling point of view, feels very, very fast, which again, we do expect at this price point, which is much lower. This is actually maybe not budget, but it's very good for this price and having all these specs. An absolutely stunning experience. The only thing is I would say the brightness is good. And we're in a bright room right now. It's good, but it doesn't blow my socks off. And I was honestly expecting this to blow my socks off. Now, I will say I am being incredibly critical and I use some of the most beautiful monitors ever. This is definitely a beautiful monitor, but I do wish the brightness was higher. Now, we are gonna test HDR. All of this is gonna be in the full review, so I can't make any conclusions that I'm gonna stick by right now. And I also haven't messed around with anything else. But right off the bat, it's absolutely beautiful. It's very, very fluid, as we would expect from 144 Hertz, and having a lower input lag with this. It definitely feels like it is. But yeah, this is a fast panel. And you can see in places like this, the whites up here, they're not super, super bright, but having everything be incredibly clear makes up for that. However, not quite as good as I was expecting, but let's get into that ghosting. All right, good to go. Let's full screen it. I'm gonna tell you right away. I mean, there is very little ghosting. Let me grab the camera. I don't know exactly what setting this is in yet, but I mean, you can see barely any at all. I mean, that's really top tier amount of ghosting on an IPS panel, which this is. That's incredibly low. There's basically none there. That's definitely competitive grade gaming level. That's fantastic. That's really good. But let's go and change the settings. So we're gonna go in here up to settings. Gigabyte does not have my favorite menu system ever, but that's something I can work with for this price. Okay, so let's go into gaming, go into the overdrive settings. This is in Smart OD, Smart Overdrive. That's in picture quality, balanced, and speed has some pixel overshooting. Not a ton, but definitely more than you'd want. So I would say probably balanced. I would say balanced is probably the best one to leave it in. That's what we're gonna leave it in. With that, I mean, this is top tier. You don't have to worry about ghosting. The panel is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. One of the other things I was gonna look for is this matte finish. Sometimes I can be a little bit picky with the matte finish, but if you look in the light, this one is a less diffused matte finish, which is good, because sometimes matte finishes can make your display look fuzzy, and this one does not do that. So that's good. But again, if you want to check this out, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. And my full review will be coming very, very soon, so subscribe below. This monitor is going to be reviewed and critiqued heavily, and we'll see at the end of the review process if I'm going to use this as my daily driver on one of my setups. But those are Type-C tech reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next video.